If we could look to the stars.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the ever so popular assumptions about me, answering assumptions about me type of video. I asked you guys on Instagram to send me in your assumptions, good or bad. So we shall see how this goes. I haven't really looked through them, but I'm excited to see what y'all said. I know that there is a lot, so let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. So I do have quite a few here, so hopefully I can get through them all, but we'll see. I'm gonna start at the bottom. The first one says that you are good with your money. I would like to think that this is true. Devin and I do have a fairly good handle on our finances for our age, especially, I think. And I know you guys want to see a finance video. I'm going to do that in the future, but I just don't know exactly how I'm going to work it. But yeah, that should be coming in the future. Someone said you have your bleep together, LOL. I would like to think that this is also true. I think that ever since I was like in high school, I feel like I've always had my life together. I've always had it together, known what I wanted. I've always been very mature. I always say that I'm a 30-year-old in a 20-year-old body because I feel like that is very true. I've always felt more mature than everybody else my age, and that can be a good and a bad thing, but I would like to think that I do have my crap together. This is a really good one. This one says you never go out partying. So I don't know whether you guys will be surprised or not by this, but I never go partying. I feel like maybe you guys would think that, but drinking is just not something that I like to do. I don't really mind if other people do it, but I don't particularly like it or like to be around it all the time. I think it's, well, I don't know. It's just not my favorite thing to do to spend my time. I think that there are many other ways that you can have fun, and yeah, if you are like me and don't like to party or drink, don't feel bad because that is okay. Somebody said maybe you'll do videos on Saturdays as well. I love watching them. Thank you so much. You know, maybe in the future, if YouTube ever became like a full-time job for me, I would definitely post more than 3 days a week, maybe 4 to 5 days a week, depending on what my life was like at the time. If I had kids, if I didn't have kids, like there's a lot of factors. But for now, 3 days a week is kind of a lot for me, honestly. I spend like 2 to 3 hours editing and uploading my videos, so it does take me a lot of time. So 3 days a week is good for me right now, but in the future, maybe I would go to 4 days a week. So someone else said you have a big heart and love a lot, but don't give enough of that love to yourself sometimes. Wow, you guys really know me. How do you guys know this stuff? So I feel like this is pretty true, and me and my friend Brittany have kind of made it a goal for ourselves this year to focus on ourselves and doing more self-care. So we have been going and getting our nails and our toes done, and we just went yesterday, but I got Bubble Bath by OPI. Okay, that's as good as it can get, but do you guys like that color? Isn't it pretty? It's really, really natural. Someone said you are a feminist. Whoop, let me fix my camera. I wouldn't say that I'm a feminist. I feel like, I don't really know how to word this. I feel like as a Christian woman, it's hard to agree with a lot of the feminist points, and I'm not trying to offend anybody or like say anything controversial, because there are certain things that feminists support and rally for that I do agree with, but then there's some that I don't. So I wouldn't quite say that I'm a feminist, but I wouldn't say that I'm not a feminist. Does that answer your question? Someone said you don't like change, and I would say that this is not true and true at the same time. I don't mind change if I can plan ahead and I know all the details. I have everything like set in stone, but I don't really like change if it's like a last minute thing. So if any of you guys have anxiety like I do, I am kind of a control freak. I have to know when things are happening, what time they're happening, like in advance. And if it changes last minute or if something doesn't go as planned, it really gives me anxiety and stresses me out. Does that make sense? I think some of you guys can relate. Someone said that you're protective over Devin. I would like to think that any woman would be protective over her man, but I am protective over Devin. I don't like it if people are treating him poorly or are walking all over him. It really makes me mad, and I really want to like stand up for him and say something, but that's not always the case, and that's not always something that I can do. I hate to see him being taken advantage of and just things like that. So yeah, I would say that any wife would be protective over her husband, and I definitely am protective over mine. Someone said you played softball as a kid. No flippin' way. I did not play softball as a kid. I never did sports. I did do dance, and I was in show choir, which if you don't know is like singing and dancing, and we were a competitive team, and I also danced competitively. So I never did sports, but I would strongly agree that dancing is a sport. Someone said you've got your life together. That kind of goes back to the other one, but yeah, I would say that I definitely do have my life together, and I'm really proud of the life that Devin and I have built together so far. Okay, so I got a group of questions from somebody that I don't know if you were doing assumptions because, like, I don't know if you really meant these assumptions or if you were just trying to see the answer to these, but I'll read some of them. The first one said you could care less about getting your degree. This is not true at all. I definitely do want to get my degree, and school is very important to me and my husband because as you guys know, I make a very, very small amount here on my YouTube channel, but that's not always going to be around. You never know if YouTube could end one day or, you know, stop working or whatever. So I never want to rely on this as an income if I do ever make it to make a decent amount of money on YouTube. So going to school is very important to me, and I am looking forward to getting my degree so I can start working. And the next one is Devin makes more money than you, which I guess is true, but also we're married, so we're a team. And when we got married, like in the Bible, it says the two shall become one, and all of our money is together. So we never think of it as Devin makes more money than me or I make more money than Devin, and that would never be an issue either way. But we don't really think of it that way. But I guess if you're being technical, he does make more money than me. But that's because I'm going to school full-time, and I do also work, but I don't work full-time like he does. Somebody else said you've had regrets about marrying into the military life. I would say no, this is not true. I don't have regrets. There are things about the military life that I don't particularly enjoy, but I wouldn't say that I regret it at all. The next assumption is that Devin doesn't support my YouTube channel, which is also very not true. Devin is very supportive of my YouTube channel. He has always been the one to push me to post more. He's the one that bought me my camera that I'm using right now, which is the Canon G7X. I get a lot of questions about that, and he's always pushing me to be a better version of myself, so he is always supportive in everything that I do. You are the only daughter. That is not true. I have 2 brothers and a sister, so I am one of 4. You and Devin fight a lot. We do bicker about little, like, things that don't really matter. Lately, we've been having a tougher time. This is just me being transparent. We've been having a tougher time communicating and just doing life in general because of his work schedule. He works all the time, and we hardly get to see each other, like, hardly, unless it's a day that he has off. And so marriage takes a lot of work. I don't think it's bad if you do argue. Obviously, a healthy relationship does have arguments sometimes, but I would say for the most part, the only times we like bicker with each other is about things that don't really matter. It's not really about the important things. The next assumption is that I was the smallest kid in my high school class. So no, I can think of quite a few people that were smaller than me. I am really short though. I'm like 4'11". I'm like 5 foot if I put shoes on. But I can think of a few girls that were smaller than me, and I was also I think my graduating class was like 700, something like that. So there were quite a lot of us, but quite a lot of us, does that make sense? Yeah, I think it does. But yeah, I was not the smallest, but I am pretty small. You want to go on a vacation soon? Yes. Oh my gosh, please. I want to go on a vacation so bad that doesn't involve going home or going to like something where I'm like super busy, like no offense, but I would just love to go on a vacation that is just like Devin and I somewhere relaxing where we can just like get off of our phones, stay off of social media, and just like relax. I would love to do that this year. We've been wanting to go on a cruise, and we've been talking about it. We never went on a honeymoon, so I kind of want to go on like a cruise for like honeymoon. Like 3 years too late, but you know, it's better late than never. So that's something that I really want to do within the next year. So this person said that I'm cheap, and Honestly, yeah, but I don't think being cheap is a bad thing. Like, Devin is a lot cheaper than I am, and if you guys were to ever meet my dad, you would know that he is the king of cheap, and my mom can verify that down below in the comments because my dad is so cheap, and he was always cheap when we were growing up. Now looking back, it's like funny because I'm a lot like him, but I wouldn't say that being cheap is a bad thing. It's more like being smart with our money, and I'm selective on what I want to spend my money on, and I don't know, I guess just finding deals. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Someone said that I live in Florida, and yes, I do. I have a few left, and I'm 16 minutes in, so hopefully this isn't too long for you guys. But this one says, you ditched college / your career and goals to pursue your relationship. I guess I would say that this is true, because so what happened was, if y'all don't know like my story or whatever, I was in college right after high school, and then my second semester what really happened was my financial aid fell through because if you guys know what FAFSA is, my parents made like a tiny bit more than the year before, and so it caused me to have no financial aid. I didn't have the money to go to college, and so I just took a semester break, and then the next semester after that was when Devin joined the military, so I kind of just put my schooling on hold. And I think that happens a lot in the military life. Spouses will kind of put their lives on hold, especially at the beginning, because they're going through BMT, they're going through tech school, and then you're PCSing and you're uprooting your life. And we moved twice, so, and I moved 3 times for him before we were settled down here. So it's a lot, and it takes a lot of time. Like, and just like, it wasn't worth it for me to start school anywhere else, because it was just like I would have to move. And so yeah, I would say that it is true, but thankfully I am in school now. I think this was kind of a joke, I don't know, but someone said, Devin JUULS all the time, love you and your videos, LOL. I love you too. And no, I don't think Devin's ever JUULed before. I don't think so. He has vaped before, which you guys have seen like on my Instagram stories and Snapchat and stuff, but it's more like a joke to him. Like, he does it to be funny. AJ vapes, and so he would like vape on his pen. Devin does have a vape pen, but he like never uses it. It just kind of sits in a cabinet, so I don't think he's ever JUULed before though. I got a couple of these that said I'm a shy person, and I would say that at first, yes, I am pretty shy. I'm not one to like put myself out there and make friends myself, but once I get to know you and I'm like comfortable around you, I feel like I'm not as shy anymore. Someone said I have a fun and bubbly personality. Thank you, that is really sweet. I take that as a compliment. I would like to think so. I think that once you get to know me, I'm more bubbly. I'm not super outgoing, like I said, but I would like to think that once you get to know me, I'm fun and bubbly. Okay, so I just refreshed my little thingy and I have a bunch more, so I'm going to answer a few more, then we will go ahead and end this video because I'm already at almost 20 minutes. So this one says, I assume that you are one of the best realist YouTubers. Oh my gosh, Alyssa, that is so sweet. Thank you. I don't really have an answer to that, but I think you are just complimenting me, so thank you. That's really sweet. And she also said, I assume your guys' favorite food is spaghetti squash. Actually, if I'm being honest, I don't really like spaghetti squash that much. I know I do, seems like I make it a lot, but Devin really loves it, and I don't mind it. It's just not like my first choice of food. It is low carb, and I love pasta, so like nothing will ever be as good as pasta to me, but it is okay. It's not my favorite food. I would say Devin really likes it though. The last one says that you and your hubby are so sweet and genuine. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop there because I have answered quite a few, and my time on the little ticker is 20 minutes and 50 seconds. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I post 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Is that what it's called? Central Standard Time? Or is it just Central Time? I don't know. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and got to know me a little bit better. Thank you guys to everyone who sent me a question on Instagram. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media. I always leave it down below in the description box, so you should definitely check that out. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
What am I doing?